Hi, everyone. Question that comes up a lot in my Facebook group is how can we bring our car to Martha's Vineyard for our vacation? And it's a great question and one that confuses people a lot. So, the first thing you need to know is there's only one way to get a car to the island, and that is on the Steamship Authority ferry leaving from Woods Hole. So, that ferry is the only car ferry to the island. And if you want to come during the summer months, you need to book really far ahead, especially if you want to travel on weekends or holiday days. So, around the end of January, beginning of February, the Steamship Authority will open reservations for the summer months. And that is the best time to, if you want the sailing times that are most important to you. To use the Steamship Authority website to bring your car to the island, the first thing you need is to set up an account. So the website is steamshipauthority.com. And when you go, you will see up on the top left a login area here if you already have an account. And if not, if you're a new user, just click right there on new user. When you click on new user, this is the next screen that you'll see. So you're going to choose a username and you can use your email address, but it must be at least 6 characters long. You go to choose a password, re-enter it, and then click next. So on the next page, you're going to complete your contact information. The Steamship Authority needs to create a profile number for you. So continue on, just scroll down past that first part of the page to the part I do not have a profile number. Then you're going to fill in the fields here. Your username will already be pre-populated with the email address or whatever username you chose on the first page. You're going to enter your email address, your name, your street address, and your phone number. And then you can choose whether you want to receive text alerts for schedule changes or waitlist fulfillments. I would advise you to click that because it's useful to know if travel arrangements are changing at the last minute or if you are waiting for a particular ferry and there is a space for you. It's good to know about that by text. Then you're going to hit create account. Congratulations, you've completed your account. So now you're in your dashboard, and here's where you can view all the information that you've entered, or you can make changes. So the first thing you need to do from here is to add a vehicle to your account. So click on the tab My Vehicles, and on the screen, you're going to click Add New Vehicle. Select the state that your vehicle is from. You're going to add in your plate number. I'm just going to use one, a made up one from earlier. And then you're going to choose the year, the make, and the model of your car, and the Steamship website will populate the length and the width and the height automatically. So I'm just going to choose a random year, and a make, and a model. All right, so the information about the length, width, and the height is already populated, and then you can just click Add Vehicle. Okay, the vehicle is now being added to my account. So I can see all the details there. I can edit them if I've made any mistakes, or I can jump straight to making a reservation. Now, if you're not bringing your own car, you're bringing a rental car instead, don't worry about adding a vehicle at this point. Just go straight to the Book Now tab, and you can choose rental vehicle at the point that you make your reservation. Okay, so when I click Book Now, the first thing I'm going to see is an option to choose my departure and return dates. So I'm going to choose some dates in the summer just to show you what the availability is like. It's now April. I'm going to select dates around July 4th weekend, just so you can see, let's say departing on July 3rd and coming back on July 7th, Thursday to Monday, round trip, traveling with a vehicle, and then hit continue. And now on this page, I get to select the vehicle that I'm bringing on the boat. So I can choose here a rental car or a truck. Or if you've added a vehicle already, you can just choose one from the drop-down list, and you can have multiple vehicles on your account. You also need to let them know whether you're going to be carrying anything behind or on top or in front of your vehicle. So if you're bringing bike racks, if you're going to be carrying canoes or kayaks, or if you have a luggage box or anything on top of your car, you need to let them know that now because the availability is calculated based on the size of your vehicle. Likewise, if you're going to be towing a trailer. Here you can add your passenger tickets if you know how many people you're going to be traveling with, but you can also leave this at 0 and buy your passenger tickets either at the ferry terminal or online on your phone before you leave. You can choose if any of this information will be different on your return trip, and if not, then click Continue. Okay, so now I get to see the availability for the dates that I've chosen. So Thursday, July 3rd, unsurprisingly, is pretty busy. All the ferries in the middle of the day are full. There's some availability on the early ones and some on the very last ferry at night. So the first ferry leaves at 6 a.m. and the last one leaves at 9:45 p.m. from Woods Hole. You can see that the arrival ports are either going to be Vineyard Haven or Oak Bluffs. If you're driving, you really don't need to worry too much about what town you come into. They're really close together. It's just as easy to drive from one to the other. So don't let the arrival port put you off selecting a particular boat, especially when it's busy, like around a holiday weekend. You just need to take whatever ferry you can get. Anyway, I'm going to choose the 6:30 a.m. departure on July 3rd. And then I'm going to scroll down here to July 7th. And unfortunately, there is no availability on July 7th. Okay, so this is a problem for me because I really need to get back on July 7th. But there's nothing I can do about that for now. So I'm going to have to change the date. Let's go with July 8th and see if there's any boats on that day. All right, so this is looking a little better. I can see that there is much more availability leaving on July 8th. Still doesn't solve my problem. I've got to get back on July 7th. But for now, I'm going to select a 1:15 departure on July 8th. And I'll show you why I'm selecting that in a moment. All right, so I've selected the 1:15 departure. And now I'm going to scroll down to this little orange, yellow kind of box down here that says click here to waitlist for unavailable times. To waitlist for a time that you prefer, you must select some sort of departure date and time initially, even if it's not ideal. So that's why I moved to July 8th and I selected a boat on that day, even though it doesn't suit me. I have to pick some sort of return journey to complete the reservation. So I'm going to open up this box here. When you open this box, you're going to get the option to choose your preferred times and dates and go on a wait list for those. So the first thing I'm going to do is check this box here that says by selecting a preferred waitlist time, your departure will automatically be changed if a time becomes available. So I'm going to check that box. And then I'm going to open the calendar here. I'm going to say that I really want to leave on July 7th. And when you click on this box here, it's going to show you the time. So you can choose to say that you don't want to go before, let's say 7:30 in the morning. Okay. And you don't really want to leave the island anytime after, let's say, 7:30 p.m. So when I select that, that means that I am now on a wait list for departing on Monday, July 7th between 7:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. On a busy holiday weekend like that, I would recommend not specifying a time range and just choosing earliest to latest. That way, any boat that becomes available during those times you'll be considered for and your reservation can be moved to it. Obviously, don't choose earliest or latest if you physically cannot leave the island at 6 a.m. or at like 9:45 p.m. Once you've put yourself on the wait list for your preferred date and departure times, the next thing you need to decide is how long are you going to wait on the wait list to find out if you get your preferred trip. Take a look at this section underneath here. It's stop searching for trips. So the website will keep searching for space on your preferred sailing right up until the day of departure if you wanted to. But a lot of people need a bit more notice than that. So there's a number of options here that you can choose from. And I'm just going to go straight to the last one here, user drop date. So if I want to depart the island on July 7th, how far in advance do I need to know whether that's going to happen or not? Maybe a month, let's say. So you can choose from your calendar here. Let's say to go back to June 1st, for example. So if you choose that option, you're telling the website to keep searching for sailings on July 7th, right up until the 1st of June. And if it hasn't found you a spot by then, to stop searching and that you'll keep your original reservation for July 8th. You can also choose, if you have a little bit more flexibility, you could choose a 2-day drop. So the site will keep searching right up until 2 days before your departure, or a 1-day drop date right up to the day before, or 1-day noon drop date, which means that it'll stop searching for trips for you at noon on the day of your preferred departure. So choose the option that's best for you, and then your reservation will automatically be transferred if one becomes available. you'll get a text or an email. But I would recommend to keep checking back into the site, log into your account, and just check and see if the sailing has changed in case you didn't get the text or the email ended up in spam. So once you've set your waitlist settings here, then you're going to hit continue. So on this page, this is the final step in your purchase process. It's going to summarize all the details that you've selected on the previous screens before you make that final purchase for your reservation. So it's going to show you your departure date and time and the details of the vehicle that you've booked. And it's going to give you the price for that leg of the trip. On your return trip, again, it's going to show you that, yes, you're booking July 8th, even though it's not ideal. But it's also going to show you here that you're on a wait list. And it's going to tell you if a trip becomes available between 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. on Monday, July 7th, before noon on Sunday, July 6th, then your reservation will automatically be switched to that trip. This is your vehicle for the return journey, which is the same, and your subtotal for that leg, and here's your final price for your reservation. The next step is to agree to all the policies, and then enter your credit card details and finalize your purchase. I hope you found that tutorial useful and that it makes it a little easier for you to navigate booking your car onto the ferry for your trip to Martha's Vineyard. If you have any more questions about visiting the island, you can always hop into Martha's Vineyard Travel Tips Facebook group, and I'll be happy to answer them in there.